Hey guys, so I've been working on another history, major flaws, and why it got cancelled video, but in the meantime I thought I'd fill some time by looking at the 2023 Dodge Durango Pursuit. I've already done a video on the 2023 Charger Pursuit, and I last did one on the 2021 Durango Pursuit, so here we are with the 2023 version. On screen you can find the video outline with all the various topics for today. Anyways, let's get into it. So Dodge began offering a special services vehicle of the Durango back in 2012, but it wasn't until 2018 that the Durango got a Pursuit model. These are only available for purchase by the various agencies directly from Dodge, so regular people can't buy them new, but they can get them used when the agencies decide to get rid of them and sell them. There aren't going to be a bunch of trim levels like a regular Durango, just one standard trim. The base price for a 2023 is a whopping $41,415, and that's for the V6. There's an upgraded 2TZ package, which is around $2,800, and that gets you the 5.7-liter Hemi V8 and a slightly better version of the 8-speed automatic. And for comparison, the base 2023 Durango SXT starts around $39,050. We'll do the performance next, since people are always interested in how the cop cars perform. The standard 3.6-liter Pentastar V6 puts out 293 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque, while the 5.7-liter Hemi V8 has 360 horsepower and 390 pound-feet of torque, both of them with all-wheel drive standard. So those powertrains haven't changed in over a decade. On the V6, that system is a single-speed transfer case and operates with full-time all-wheel drive with a 50-50 torque split, but on the V8, it's a 2-speed system with variable torque split. Both vehicles come with an 8-speed automatic transmission with the shift lever mounted on the instrument panel, and both come from the factory with 130 mph top speed. The V6 has a 3.45 rear axle ratio, while the V8 is 3.09. Fuel economy is rated at 18 city and 25 highway on the V6, and 14 city 22 highway on the V8. As to the curb weight, both the vehicles are very heavy, 4,929 pounds for the V6, and 5,214 pounds for the V8. The capability numbers are similar to the civilian Durangos, which you can find on screen now. Now as for the exterior, the 2023 Durango carries over the design from the civilian model, so it's the same front fascia, LED headlights, grille, and rear spoiler. As for the decals and police look, these are obviously customized by the various law enforcement agencies, but Mopar does provide some graphics as well. The stock police wheels are 18 by 8 inch steel wheels with the chrome center caps. Tires are 255/60 R18, Bridgestone or Firestone black sidewall on off-road. Beneath those wheels are massive 14.4-inch vented rotors up front with 2 piston calipers, and the rear gets 13.8-inch discs with a single piston floating caliper. That's also known as a BR9 brake package. The performance-styled fascia also has integrated brake cooling ducts that will help cool those brakes. So it basically uses a lot of upgraded stuff without getting into too much upgrades like an SRT would have, as that would just be a lot more expensive to maintain for the various agencies. As for the paint colors, Dodge offers different choices: Michigan State Police Blue, Ranger Green, Flame Red, and Blue Bayou, which are all Pursuit specific. But you can also get regular colors like DB Black, Ember Pearl, Baltic Gray Metallic, Destroyer Gray, Bright Silver, Midnight Sky, Frostbite, Octane Red, and White Knuckle. Now let's go over some of the standard features, and this is where the Pursuits differ quite a bit from the civilian versions. Dodge removed the center console shifter and has made an instrument panel mounted shifter standard. As previously, the cops didn't like that the center console shifter took up room that could otherwise have been used for computers or other equipment. Other standard features include 6 speakers, the Uconnect 4 with an 8.4-inch touchscreen, deep tinted glass, a headliner with 2 red and white LED dome lamps, and more. There are heavy-duty cloth seats that have cutouts in the side bolstering for utility that officers wear, and vinyl floor mats. Tri-zone climate control with air filtration is standard, which keeps the K9 units in mind. A vehicle systems interface module comes standard, which is essentially a heavy-duty wiring harness that's able to support the many aftermarket additions that the agencies add, like lights, sirens, and computers. Some other standard features include 4 programmable auxiliary switches, engine hours and idle hours meters, a 650 amp battery or optional 800 amp version for the Hemi, a 220 amp heavy-duty alternator, and red and white dome lights. Those lights can allow the officer to see inside the vehicle at night just enough to not be noticed by pedestrians, so that's good for highways or undercover operations, for example. Some standard safety features include advanced multi-stage airbags, side thorax airbags, active head restraints, electronic brake force distribution, ParkSense rear park assist system, Park View rear backup camera, rain brake support, ready alert braking, and trailer sway control. Some add-ons here would be the Uconnect 5 system with navigation and a 10.1-inch display for $878, a $2,250 technology group which adds advanced safety features that you can see on screen, and a $266 skid plate group. Next, we can look at which police stations use the Durango Pursuit. Now, as I mentioned, the Durango Pursuit is still relatively new, as it began being offered only in 2018. So most agencies using them have a few in their fleet mixed with other Chargers and various Ford police vehicles. Another thing to keep in mind is that the Durango Pursuit is expensive, over $50,000 US when it's fully loaded. So many agencies may prefer the cheaper options from, say, Ford. Also, this is by no means an exhaustive list, and there are many other departments that I might have missed, or some departments might switch cars over the years, or just have a couple. Starting in Canada, they're used in Alberta, Nova Scotia, and Ontario. In the US, the list is longer, with some of the various places and jurisdictions shown on screen, including Colorado, California, Hawaii, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Mississippi, North Carolina, and Utah, just to name a few. Now, the final thing I want to cover today would be the performance numbers of these Durangos. Each year, the Michigan State Police does a series of grueling on-road tests that look at various aspects, like acceleration, top speed, braking, and vehicle dynamics. All the police departments throughout the country then review these tests before they decide on which cars to order for their fleets. The information for this comes from the 2023 Model Year Police Vehicle Evaluation Program, which was a 102-page document that had every detail possible about all the testing they did for these cop cars. So the Durango fares the middle of the pack or worse for most of the metrics here. Starting with the engines and power output, the Hemi Durango is pretty much blown out of the water by the Explorer Utility 3-liter EcoBoost, the F-150 EcoBoost, and the Mach-E all-wheel drive. The Fords have a 10-speed in there, while the Dodges have the 8-speed. For the dynamics testing, which was taking the average of 4 lap times around Grattan Raceway in Michigan, the Durango V8 placed in 8th place, so quite lower down on the list with an average of 98.7 seconds per lap. For the acceleration and top speed testing, the Hemi all-wheel drive Durango did 0 to 60 in 7.27 seconds, which was far behind the Ford Police Interceptor Utility 3-liter EcoBoost all-wheel drive and the F-150 EcoBoost, who both did it in the high 5-second range, and then of course the Mach-E all-wheel drive had a 3.93 second 0 to 60 time. The V6 Durango all-wheel drive would be the slowest vehicle with an 8.65 second time. Both the Durango's top speed are roughly 130 miles an hour, so that was behind the Ford Interceptor's 148 miles an hour and the Charger's 140 miles an hour. The final test I wanted to look at was deceleration times and braking, so each vehicle did a bunch of 60 to 0 mile per hour stops and took the average deceleration rate. The Durangos perform pretty well considering how heavy they are, but they still place behind many vehicles. So that's all for today's video on the 2023 Durango Pursuit. What do you think of these police cars offered from Dodge? Let me know down in the comment section below. Make sure to like and subscribe for all your Mopar content, and I'll see you in the next video.